Welcome to Extra Time. Craig and Shaka here. Also Ian and Sid. The first tweet is from somebody called Ian Darke.
No.
Is it really analysis if a pundit says it's a derby, anything can happen, form goes out the window? Does it really? What? You've been watching this show, Ian?
Oh, nothing could have been further from my mind than the lads there.
Sid, you wanted us to bring this up.
Yeah, I just like the idea of them being able to ride in on the back of it and saying, well, it's a derby and form goes out the window and you never know what might happen. also, people, it's worth pointing out that half the time we say things like this to escape from the terrible tragedy of making a prediction which then goes wrong and then everyone wading into us a couple of days later.
Hey, it can't be as bad as Gab's Classico prediction, let's face it. That is one for the ages.
Well, to be fair, this got misconstrued a little bit. I don't think anybody was really having a pop at anybody for a prediction on a game.
No.
Because, well, listen, everyone gets predictions wrong, otherwise we'd all be multi-millionaires on the lottery. But I think it was Mr McCarthy's analysis of the situation at Real Madrid that may have got us a little hot under the collar.
I enjoyed that.
By the way, Ian's right. There's so many bland people taking a living out there from TV and radio who don't want to give a bloody opinion.
That's something you can't accuse of us. Yeah.
Listen, I'm happy to take. I'm happy to take the flak. I've got a thick skin, so I mean, at least have what are you nodding your head for? At least have an opinion.
Is there a commentating cliche that you avoid, or try to avoid, Ian, that or makes your skin crawl when you hear one of your colleagues say it?
Yeah, go USA!
I used to say that. Yeah.
That has made Mr. Darke a very rich man.
Cliches are something you should avoid, like the plague. That used to be the joke, didn't it?
Well played. Very good.
There it is. Okay.
Hey, my particular favourite, Dan, on that score, just very quickly, I love this. In Spain, not least because it seems sometimes that the role between radio and TV has been turned on its head and it's the wrong way around. But the amount of times, and there's one commentator who's particularly bad at this, but they all do it up to a point. The amount of times that they tell you during a match commentary which minute of the game you're in. You say, well, you see that little box in the top corner of the screen? I can read which minute in the game we're in. I don't need to be told every 5 minutes that we're coming up to 30 minutes and, we're in the 27th minute and it's the 42nd minute now. Yes, there's a clock. I can see it. Thank you.
Do you know what gets me? One of the things that gets me, and I was doing one of the games I did with our friend and colleague Derek Ray, is attendance watch.
Right.
So I never get this. So we're doing this. I mean, Birmingham v somebody in the FA Cup. It was dire and 0-0 on ESPN UK. And then I'll hear my ear. The attendance today is 16,000. Who cares? When people come on and say, well, the attendance at Wembley today is 57,846. I mean, nobody cares. Who cares?
Stats get me. You commentators should just have, like, 10 stats you're allowed to give a game, Ian, and then that's it. That's your quota film.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree if you're being serious about that, Dan. I think we should be telling stories and narratives, not bombarding the audience with statistics.
Exactly. Who cares?
The best commentators go with less... all the good commentators that I've worked with, and I've worked with a lot, they're all well prepared, but the ones that take the less... Even the ones that I've got a lot written down, don't use... I mean, like Derek, for example. Derek Ray has got 3,000 words written down in preparation, and by the way, they're tiny. I mean, only he can see them.
Yep.
But he doesn't even use 5% of that, because you're commentating it. It's just a comfort blanket. You don't have to cram it all in. You know what I mean?
Unless it's 0-0 after 78 minutes, of course.
Well, then you just tell stories, bad ones. Stats are okay.
No, I'm easy. I'm all right.
Do you know what was annoying said today?
Well, many things annoying said.
So, I don't know. I never got to the bottom of this.
Right.
But retweeting praise, because you know I hate retweeting praise.
Right.
Anybody that does it, there should be a button on your phone when you retweet praise that it gives you an electric shock.
Right. Yeah.
Should be. If Twitter
flashes up, are you sure you want to do this?
Yes.
So what's been
Another
annoying
one is people say sending out tweets saying thank you for all the compliments for my work. And there haven't actually been any, but it's just to deceive your bosses.
Yeah. I like for those that are asking. No one's asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your kind words.
That's not always true. People do sometimes ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sid, was Santi as handsome when he worked for ESPN as he is now? Surely he has the best hair of all current working managers. Wow.
He does have marvellous hair. Someone actually sent me a picture on Twitter the other day, and this is true. He has hair like Snake out of The Simpsons when he uses the cheese to kind of scrape it back. It's absolutely magnificent.
Yeah.
While Santi is handsome, I think the answer is Santi was equally handsome, but because he was sitting on a set with me and you, Dan, he looked $1 million.
No, surely. It's only now. It's only now.
Whoa. It's a good one, Sid.
Do you remember our trip in Santi's smart car, Sid?
Yes.
He was
there wasn't a lot of room in
charmer,
there.
wasn't he, Santi?
Tell you what, somebody go get me a violin, will you?
Why, what's wrong?
Do you remember my...
Beautiful.
I'm
let's
going to look
let's
up
have the-
Snake on Simpsons. That's
Let's
what
have the
I'm gonna do
exclusive here. Is he dyeing his hair or not? It's very dark.
Is he dyeing his hair? I don't know. Do you think it's a natural dye? I can't imagine Santi would ever dye his
No,
hair.
I think it's natural.
He's such a beautiful man.
He sat next to me in Paris in the studio. That'll give you good looking. Good luck to him.
Good luck to him.
I haven't played anybody yet, really, but good luck to him. I mean, I watched the Valladolid game. They were lucky. They were lucky in the Valladolid game.
Oh, they were awful.
They were awful in that game. So I mean, you know, a lot of water to go under the bridge. Is that the right phrase?
No, water.
No, didn't think.
Not work.
I said water.
I don't think his hairstyle's going to keep getting him the job, is it?
Oh,
It's
Ian,
gonna be
come
the
on
results.
now. Let's all start having a go at hair, shall we?
No, better not.
Right. Next question. What really makes Craig Burley happy? I want to know, please.
Somebody answer this
I know,
question.
I know, we've got the answer, actually. Golf, his kids and his dog. I don't think that's quite the right order.
Well, there's no particular...
There's one thing missing out of that list.
Yep. But
And plays a rather prominent role in his life most evenings. All evenings.
The fire? Mm-hmm. The drive home?
the liquid refreshments you're referring to, Shaka?
He often makes stops on his drive home.
And he is putting that liquor store's kids through college.
I stopped to pick up groceries on the way home. Yes, I do.
Somehow there's only ever one item on your grocery
I
list.
stop to pick up groceries, and then when I go home, I play with
drink
the
the
dog.
groceries.
I drink the groceries.
Greetings, everyone. Out of the current batch of players reaching their twilight or players already retired, whom would you like to welcome to the pundit table along with yourselves? Who should I start to recruit? I'm going to go to Sid first, because I reckon Sid would say Juan Mata.
Yeah, no, I mean, to go back to what Ian was saying at the very start about trying to break through the cliches, about trying to have some depth of the analysis, about trying to have some genuine insight. One of the problems, of course, is that sometimes players are not prepared to say as much as they know, but obviously once they're ex-players, hopefully so. So I suppose you go for someone analytical like a Xabi Alonso, for example. I think he'd be very, very good.
Alonso was my second guess. I should have gone with that.
Most of them go into this role and still don't want to say anything because they're worried about upsetting the manager and they're used to play with that player. And
But for people who don't know, that was a case in point with you and Celtic, wasn't it? In the fact that you were a big deal when you played for Celtic,
And
Player of the Year, and then you criticise them on television and they all hate you now.
well, I think there's one or two, but like me. I mean, only.
I don't think there are.
Well, the thing being is Chelsea was the same. I made a conscious decision when I went in to do this job, I think it was 2004, on a full-time basis, that I wasn't a player anymore. And I've had my fallouts with players and managers. But I'm not going to the detriment of doing my job, I'm not going to not say anything, because it's not my style, as you well know. So, yeah, it does get you in a bit of trouble. But the one guy I would say, the guy that I played with, who I think is, I don't know how strong he goes, but he's very analytical and he's very good and he does work in TV in Italy, is Gianluca Vialli.
Right.
He's very astute and he's very eloquent and speaks great English. And he actually, funny enough, speaks pretty good Italian as well. But he's very good.
Did Gab write his book?
And he's, as he would say, hello, chap, he's a lovely chap.
Oh,
he's a nice fellow.
Ian,
Yeah,
who would
he is
you
a
want?
man.
Who would you want to be your co-coms?
I think Peter Crouch is quite entertaining addition
Have you listened to his
the media,
podcast,
isn't
Ian?
he?
Do you know
I've listened to that, and I started reading his book.
Do you know what a podcast
It's
is?
very entertaining. Yes, of course I know what I'm.
Do you know what?
We used to have podcasts when we were flying those Spitfires, you know.
Right, I know you know what a podcast is, but do you know how to get the podcast?
Of course.
There you go.
Yes.
You have to ask Stevie that. That's a question you have to ask Stevie. That's a Stevie question.
Stevie can't.
No, he can't.
Yeah.
Stevie can't.
I think Ian's got it. Ian knows.
Shaka, who would you?
I don't know.
What?
Shaka, you look very invested in extra time today. What's happening?
Who that you played with?
Maybe he doesn't want to
I don't want to
lose his
No, I
job.
don't know.
Doesn't want to lose his job.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, one of us is going to have to go.
That's it.
Producer saying Tino Asprilla. Who's a nut.
We met him. Where did we meet him?
Champions League final.
Yeah, he works for ESPN down in
Because
Colombia.
he dresses up as a dinosaur and things.
Right, he posts a whole. I don't know if it's he dressing up, but he posts a whole lot of dinosaur videos.
Yeah. Didn't he say to us to tell you that you were a terrible goalkeeper?
Ali, told Ali that. Yeah. was the only goalie he ever met with no
So he's
arms.
clearly an intelligent pundit who knows what he's talking about.
There you go.
You shut up, Sid. You shut up.
I think that's it.
And yeah, the video, by the way, the video is brilliant of Tino Asprilla dressed as a dinosaur play on the back of a horse, and the horse is playing football. Look it up. It's absolutely fantastic.
What the internet's all about. I think we finished extra time, have we not?
I was just warming up.
Craig can make his trip to
Groceries.
groceries. Liquid groceries. Alexis is back
could
tomorrow.
complain about this.
She'll be joined by Shaka.
Yeah.
What games are there tomorrow?
I don't know.
Good. Oh, Dortmund Bayern.
Yeah. Spurs Palace.
Right, well,
Lovely.
I didn't need to say that.
I'm actually going to a bar tonight.
Oh, Boca River as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, we're still in football.